All right, this is a tutorial about using a dip pen. And a dip pen is one that has a tip on it. The very tip of it is called the tip. And then it's actually split in two. So there's two little pieces to it here. We call those the tines. This is the shoulder, the wide part here, the body. And then the heel is the end of it. And then we have the pen holder, and in our case, it's a feather. Okay? So I want to show you how we actually use this because it's a little unusual. Now, this little part in here has a hole, and that's actually what holds the ink in order to make this work. And if you think of this as a fingernail, that might be helpful in how you apply the ink. So you want to treat it like a fingernail. You wouldn't want to write upside down, that's uncomfortable. You would do it this way. So that will help you a bunch. For teachers, what I do is I get like some kind of plate or tray, and I hot glue the ink to the tray so it can't spill. And this way we just take the cup off, put it right next to there. And when you dip your pen in, you only want to dip to the depth of the hole. You don't want to go all the way up here with the ink. You only want to go the depth of the hole. So I'm going to go ahead and dip that in. And you want to check that the ink is in the hole. Okay, and I call that the well. It kind of holds the ink for you. And as you turn it sideways, there shouldn't be a big blob of ink on there. Okay, and then when we use this, again, think of it like a fingernail. And the pen will work best when you are going down. You could go sideways, but it works very bad going up, and you'll see it'll like flick ink everywhere. So you always want to work in downward strokes, sideward strokes. So when you do an O, you actually go down on one side, down on the other side. That's how you would make an O or a circle. An S, you can do this part, and then if you need to have a little finish on the end, you actually do little downstrokes there. So it takes a little practice to kind of get this to work, but you know, it'll actually draw a lot with the ink that is in that well, and then once it runs out, that little bubble, you can see it's already empty now, and it continues to write. You can see why these were popular for hundreds of years. You can do an awful lot of writing, but it did force you to make sure that you always do a downstroke. So again, circles. You can do sideways, that way, sideways down, that's fine, you know. Be nice if you just sell something. So when you're done with this, however, we don't want to just put it away like that. We actually need to use some water to clean off the tip. So you can just take it and go back and forth in some water. You could use your finger under the water, and that way the ink won't stick to you. But we need to make sure that it's absolutely clean. The other thing you want to be careful of is when you're using the pen, you don't want to be pressing hard because it'll split the tip, and that will actually break it over time. So you're just kind of touching the surface as you're using it. Again, when you're done, go ahead and cap your ink. And when it's all cleaned up, we can set that in the tray so it's ready for the next person. So that's how we use a dip pen.